Good morning. This is going to be a general reading for the sign of Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Ascendant for the month of September. If you don't know what your moon or ascendant signs are, if you have a look in the description box, there's a link to Astrolabe. Click that link and follow the directions on the site and they'll give you a free natal chart. You'll be able to see what your moon and rising signs are, as well as all the others, like your Venus and stuff like that. And then you should watch the videos for your moon and rising signs, because sometimes we resonate with those more than we do with our sun sign. Excuse me. If you are a subscriber and you're returning, thank you so much. I really appreciate the support. If you're not currently a subscriber, I'd love it if you consider subscribing. It would mean the world to me, and it also raises the visibility of the channel. And it means I can get out to more people at once, which, you know, is pretty cool. So, Eight of Pentacles is the first card out. Working on something. Whoop. Three of Cups. So, got the Two of Cups is flipped, but I'm not going to take it because it didn't jump. Thank you for all your messages and comments in the last month. I really appreciated it. It's becoming the highlight of my month, reading all of these. Seriously, so do keep them coming. YouTube's removing the messaging functionality through the site this month though, so it would be better to catch me on social media. Instagram and Facebook is generally where I'm usually to be found as Scorched Earth Tarot, and you can get in touch with me that way. I mean, most of you are choosing that route anyway, so it's not a big deal. It's the one. Okay. So, card we've got on the bottom of the deck is the Queen of Wands. That's fire. So it's Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. But as an energy, it's very active, very bold, and it fits quite nicely with the Magician, which is the last card that you've pulled. So I'm going to get some clarifiers and then we'll get stuck into the meat of this reading. So I use the Eight of Pentacles here for Aquarius. Ooh, got two out that time. Ooh, got double queens. That's three queens we've got on the table now. Queen of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. There's the Three of Cups here for Aquarius. World, Aries, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius and Taurus, so your card, excuse me. Ooh. And another major arcana, got Temperance, that's Sagittarius. And where's the Magician here? Why is the Magician here for Aquarius? We have the Fool and the Sun. It's elemental air, so you, and the card of Leo. It's more fire energy on the board today. So, excuse me, sorry about the coughing. I'm feeling a bit under the weather today. So before I even start, I'm finding this spread really, really interesting. You've got five major arcana, four of which are clarifying cards. Which means to me that there's some subtle day-to-day stuff that you're getting on with at the moment. Which seems quite day-to-day, but actually there's some real energy underlying it. And certainly some help from Source, the universe, you know, whatever you refer to, going on to assist you with this. I might end up pulling some more cards, but we'll see how we go. Shadow card. The shadow card on the bottom of the clarifying deck is the Ace of Pentacles. And I have a feeling that that figured quite prominently last month. I can't quite remember, you'll have to tell me. So, the first card we've got is the Eight of Pentacles. That's earth energy. And so it's slow, it's stable, it's fundamental, but it's a card of hard work. You've been putting in the long nights with something, you're crafting something. Because in addition to hard work, what's implied by this card is a level of mastery. Right? And that's going to be important later on. So just remember that word. Yeah. The crow here is pecking away. But he's creating these beautiful pentacles that he's hanging up behind him once he's done. And I'm drawn to these crows off in the distance that are just flying about and having fun, while this crow's sat here and working hard. Like you've been giving a lot of effort over to something of late, and you're watching other people. Well, you're not watching other people. Other people are off doing fun crow things, but you're here. You're working on something quite hard. And you're getting very good at it. Like whatever it is that you're doing, you are starting to really master your craft. And the two cards that we've got to clarify are the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. And these are the queens of the air suit, like you, and the Queen of the earth suit. And I like, immediately, I'm drawn to the fact that they've come out facing each other. Right? I feel like they're working together. So, either this is you and an earth sign woman. Gender's not really important in tarot. Like somebody who presents with the feminine attributes of the suit. Right? That could quite easily be this. This is an equal partnership, is what this is. You're both bringing something to the table and you're sat equally contributing to both, but with a different skill set. Because the Queen of Swords, she's very intellectual, she's very logical. She's very good at cutting out bullshit. So if there's anybody that you want around while you're making, potentially difficult decisions where there may be an emotional element to it somewhere, this is the queen that you want, because she's going to make sure that you go the right way. But this other queen, she's the mother. I think she's the most practically motherish of all of the cards. But by extension of that, she's the one who knows how to make a home, right? She knows how to make practically a nice home. She's very interested in home comforts, When it comes to the focus of these two queens, they focus on very different objectives, and the skill set is very different, but they are highly complementary, and they're looking towards each other. They're both actually paying some attention to this pentacle that the Queen's holding here. And I do feel like this is possibly another person that you're working with, and so you'd be working together to craft this. So this could be business, or it could just be the setting up of a home. You take it as it resonates to you. Anyway, I get a really nice feeling of these two queens working together here. There's less ego involved than there might be if there's a king thrown in the mix. But these queens are very self-assured. They know exactly what their skill sets are. They know exactly what they bring to the table. And they're working together to create something really quite impressive. But the Queen of Swords is quite, she's got all the sharp edges. She's got all the incisive kind of vision about things, and that's a very Aquarian trait anyway. And the Queen of Pentacles is much softer, because she takes care of the little details, you know, the comfortable details, the things that make the luxury almost aspect of it. I'm going to pull another card because I'd like to see what it is that you're working on. I mean, the alternative is that this is you harnessing both of these energies as a person, both of them together to create something. And you could see that being the thing if it was you creating something about your home life. You know, you're having to be quite, you know, direct in your communications with people, and you're having to be quite sort of no bullshit about things, but you're doing it for a home reason. I hope this is making sense to someone. What is it that Aquarius is working on? We've got the Queen of Swords again. So this energy of this Queen that represents you is quite fundamental to the process of whatever it is that you're working hard on and what you're building. But this Earth Queen's coming in. This Earth Queen energy is coming in to soften up the edges of whatever it is, whether it's to do with your home life, your literal physical environment that you live in, you know. Or maybe she's just the one who's in charge of, this is the energy of being in charge of the finances and the material and all that sort of thing that goes along with whatever it is that you're creating. I have one more card for Aquarius and me. I've got the Page of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles at the bottom. So the page is about messages. You know, it's another card of softening up is what it is, because these two queens here, your queen, masterful communicators, absolutely, but sometimes erring a little bit on the way of the harsh, you know, just because there's no, in an Aquarian mind, there is far much emphasis put on correct, logical, reasonable, just decision making than being swayed by anything else. And these two core cards here, which I don't think this is a person, I think this is a method of communication. Whether they're people, whether they're energies, they're helping you create a softer approach than you might ordinarily do. And this is helping with your mastery of whatever it is that you're putting together. And the next card that you have is the Three of Cups. Here. The threes are external, so they're very active, but they're very external to you, whatever's going on with you. So that there's involvement with other people. Maybe this is a business that you're setting up, and that involves a lot of work dealing with the outside world, dealing with people, being very amiable, I guess, you know, because it's a card of friendship. It can be a card of celebration and stuff like that, but I feel like it's dealing with people that you have to. It's networking. I feel like it's networking. And there's, on this card, which I don't think I've ever seen on any other Three of Cups, and you see that laurel wreath in the corner, there's a victorious aspect to what it is that you're doing here. You are negotiating and networking with people really, really well at the moment. Like, you have a message and it is being heard. And not only that, people are really getting on board with what it is that you're doing. there's a real sense of success here in your communications with the outside world. And I feel like it's probably because you're softening up the approach that you would usually go with. And it's clarified by these two cards here, which is the World and Temperance. Now, the World card is a card of the fixed elements, right? So there's Aquarius, there's Taurus, there's Scorpio, and there's Leo. Those are the fixed signs of the zodiac. You are one. But it's elemental earth, which brings us back to this earth character here, next to you, helping you achieve your mastery. But we've got a laurel wreath here, again, in the middle, right? I keep coming back to this word mastery, like there's success written all over this spread. Like whatever it is that you're engaged with right now, whatever it is you're engaged in, you've put in so much hard work with the addition of this earth sign, whether it's a person or it's an energy that you are employing within yourself. Now, it could go either way. The fact that the Queen of Swords is sitting over the top lends credence to the possibility that it could be that you are just harnessing both of these energies together and moving forwards. But the World card is the last card of the major arcana, right? The major arcana is the Fool's journey. So you start from zero when you have that naive, innocent, card of new starts, right? And the major arcana wheels its way through the Fool's journey. And the end is the culmination of a cycle, right? Here. The World card is achieving what it was that you set out to do. It's learning what you set out to learn. And from the World, you go back to the Fool and you start again. But having incorporated all the lessons of what you've learned before. So the idea is that you elevate higher and higher each time, right? Whatever you're doing, whatever this is, whatever this indicates to you, it's been a really important part of your life cycle, right? Because this card definitely refers to you. It could also mean that there's a Taurus, a Scorpio, or a Leo involved somewhere, and we've got the Queen of Pentacles, so that could indicate a Taurus. But either way, there's victory here, and there's victory here. And we'll go on a little bit. There's victory elsewhere. And Temperance is a card of, I'm drawn to the crown. There's a crown here in the background, and the crown is sitting over the top of the mountains. So there have been challenges while you've been working on this. There have been things that you've had to do. There have been situations that you've been in that have made you uncomfortable, but you've learned lots of lessons along the way. And for this to come out after the World says to me that what you set out to do, you've done, and in the process you have brought victory to yourself. You have brought balance to yourself, because Temperance is a card of balance and healing. He's pouring from one cup into another, and you can't do that unless you are balanced. The crown in the background is overcoming obstacles that have been in your way. And it feels like there's something within you as a person which has improved the way you feel about yourself. There's a real sense of worth here. It's almost like you've come to the point where you understand your own worth. And now that you understand it and you accept it, you're kind of kicking out a different energy into the planet than you have been before. And it's all off the back of the hard work that you have done here. You know, we've got crowns everywhere. We've got laurel wreaths everywhere. You know, the road from the mountains at the back to this pool that he's got 1 foot in here is long. Like, it's depicted as a long way. With the Eight of Pentacles, like, you don't get to where you are without putting in a significant amount of work. You can't achieve mastery without putting in a significant amount of work. And whatever the mastery means to you, that's what I'm referring to here. But you've done it, and you've now completed a cycle in your journey, and you've healed a lot of internal stuff. And I feel like you're starting to feel the rewards of it coming forwards now. You know, you're excelling at communication. You've built all your pentacles. People are reacting to you differently. Maybe not entirely differently, but generally very supportively, at least. And then the last card we've got is the Magician. Now, the Magician is the second card of the Major Arcana, despite being numbered 1. The Fool is 0, and that's the first card. Magician is numbered 1, but it is the second. Now, the Magician is an incredibly powerful card. I don't attribute a zodiac astrological association with this, because the Magician, for me, feels like a bit of a wild card. You know, he's kind of like the wild card that you can throw in, and he can stand for anything, and he stands for anything because he has control of all 4 elements, right? He's always depicted as having a wand, a sword, a pentacle, and a cup with him, with whatever he's doing, because he has learned how to control all of these elements, right? He's put in the time to learn, to grow, to acquire the knowledge that he needs to make anything manifest into the 3D, right? He's the ultimate manifester. He puts his mind to something and he makes it happen. When it's combined with the Eight of Pentacles, and it's combined with these, you know, cards of great communication and stuff, the completion of a cycle and then moving on to another cycle, it's incredibly powerful. And I'm drawn to the fact that the Queen of Wands was your underlying energy for the whole read. And obviously the Crow has got a wand here, but it's the only one of the elements he's actually holding. The others are underneath. So I think September, like, this is the first Major Arcana that you've got for the main card of the read as well. September's going to see an upswing in something, in your energy, in whatever it is you're creating. You know, the wand suit is all about action, right? And it's all about living in the moment as well, more so than any of the other elements. You know, there's a certain ethereal quality in the momentness of how the wands exist. You know, it's not there, spark, and it is there. You know, it's trailblazing, actually, is what it is also, which fits very well with how I'm reading this. Like, I'm almost certain that this is a continuation of last month's spread. Like, it feels very much that way, because last month was talking about the fact that you had been working, if I remember rightly, you had been working on something and you've been having to deal with naysayers, people who did not believe in what you were doing. And it seems like this month that's changed for you. People are starting to get it. They're starting to get on board with what you're doing. That, to a point, doesn't really matter to you, because you always had the vision. You always saw what it was that you were doing. And this month, you're really pulling out the big guns. And there's going to be a high level of activity in whatever it is that you're doing. You know, he stood with his wings aloft above the other 3 elements. But the wand is what's in his hand. The wand is what's going to make things happen this month, and That's you. That's that activity. The two cards that we had to clarify are the Fool and the Sun, right? And I love this because the Fool is the card of new starts. It's also the card of trusting that things are going to work out the way that you've seen it. But he's elemental air as well, right? So I've just kicked a load of stuff down the steps. He's really important to your energy, right? This is something that you have channeled. And I feel like these two cards here are the foundation on which you are now putting your magician energy, right? You understand that you're ready. You're understanding that you're ready to make the leap forwards into something else, into a new cycle. And don't forget, we've had the end of the old cycle here. We've got a beginning of a new cycle right here. And the Sun. Right? The Sun is the most positive card in the deck. It's about joy and happiness, and it can talk about children. It's a card of Leo, so I mean, that might be important. But if not, you know, it's pure childlike joy and innocence in things. You know, it's play. Maybe what this is saying is that you've put in all of the hard work. You've done so much of the groundwork. You've done so much work on yourself that now you are ready. What you're doing doesn't feel like work now, because you've put in all the hard work, because you've already overcome all of the obstacles and everything. It doesn't feel like hard work. Like you're ready to take your leap forwards and enjoy a little bit what you're doing. There's a really relaxed feel to these three cards for September. Powerful, don't get me wrong, very powerful, but it's not forced. None of it's forced. It's relaxed, comfortable use of power. It could be for a child. It could be something that you've been working at for a child, which is now going to come to fruition because you've covered all of the bases, you've done all of the groundwork, and now what it is can flourish, can go forward. Or this could be a business, and you've used your vision of what it was that you wanted to create so precisely, you know, with great insight. You've mastered a few things along the way. You've healed some stuff in yourself. And now doors are just opening everywhere. And nothing feels forced anymore. Nothing feels like you need to be grinding at it, because you've got this really relaxed energy now, just going, I can do anything. I really like it, I'm not going to lie. What do I want to do? I don't know, it's quite straightforward. And because it feels like such a continuation of last month's reading, I don't feel particularly inclined to give you any advice, because you're on it, you've got it. You know, the Queen of Wands being here with the Sun as well, that's more. Like, there's activity here, there's definite doing of stuff, but nothing's coming across like it's feeling hard work at all. It's just like the right doors are opening, the right people are appearing, you know, and you've closed out the old cycle. Now the new one starts. However this resonates to you. I'm just going to see if there are any more messages for you, because that seems all pretty straightforward. Any more messages for Aquarius for September? Here's, wow. Okay, well, you're not messing about, are you? We've got the Star, Major Arcana, card of Aquarius. Here you are, right? I love it. I love it when people turn up really strongly in their own readings, because it really means that they've aligned themselves with something. And here you are, right? And Aquarius is also about healing. It's about hope. It's about wishes, right? And then we've got the Knight of Pentacles. And we've got the Ten of Pentacles. Right. So, you here, Aquarius, you had a vision, you had a wish, you had a hope, however it applies to you. And you have worked really hard, really carefully, really methodically to get what it is that you want. And what you want is the Ten of Pentacles. It's coming. You know, tens are the top of the suit. The cards go from the aces to the tens, and the tens is the top. You know, the tens are where you've learned all the lessons of all of the previously numbered cards, and you've arrived at your end goal, right? It's material abundance, it's blessings, it's those doors opening up for you. You know, you've done everything in the right order. You've learned everything that you needed to learn, and you're going to get your rewards on account of it. And I feel it's like you didn't waver at all from your vision. You know, whatever your star was to you, you've held this at the forefront of your mind, and you have worked extraordinarily hard to make it happen. You've worked carefully, you've worked methodically, you've worked with commitment to what it was that you're doing. And now it's here. I really love readings where I see people turning up in their own readings. Like that's always brilliant. But I also like seeing people overcoming obstacles and learning lessons and coming out the other side with a reward for it, because those two things go hand in hand. You know, you put in the work, and the work is hard, whether that's work internally for you or externally. You know, whatever it is, you've had your head down and you've been working on something so hard. And it's being recognised. In the month of September, you're going to start to see rewards for it. And it's lovely. I love it. So I'm going to go now, because otherwise I'll just sit here and smile at the spread and just go, I love it. Oh, it's just so wonderful. Because I get like that sometimes. But yeah, if this has resonated with you at all, leave me a like or a comment or something. And please do subscribe, because, you know, that shit makes me happy. But otherwise, enjoy September, and I will see you in October.